Well, we got some great information on last week's missions that Vail Mountain Rescue just performed, but the big focus right now is the swiftwater rafting, kayaking in the rivers. So Dan Smith, we're back, Vail Mountain Rescue, to give us some tips on staying safe in swiftwater and the proper gear.
Well, the first tip is still with this water, if you're not as good as a guide or a guide, go with a guide.
Yep.
Because this is not easy water in many stretches of the rivers. There are flat stretches and you can go in them, but our rivers are all rock. There's not much sand, so the helmet there you really need. You need all three of these pieces of equipment and all the accoutrements attached to it to be safe, and you need that fourth piece of equipment right here, the working brain.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have that one, the other equipment is not going to do much good.
Yeah.
This is a PFD, or personal flotation device, aka life jacket. These are made for rivers. This one will float an old fat guy like me holding on to another person. So this got a lot of flotation in it, which is why I like it, even though I'm on the bank. The day I have to go in the water is going to be a really ugly day.
Yeah, something terrible
No,
has gone on.
absolutely terrible. And I have to really, this part has not to be working because I'm not that good. Attached to this is, first I keep a pair of gloves in here because I'm going to be pulling on a rope.
Yeah.
We have a whistle.
Very
Works
important.
all the time because I can't hear you and you can't hear me near the water. So if I want to get eye contact with you, I blow that whistle, you're going to turn and look at me. And the sort of the universal signal is this. If you do this, go something like that, you're asking, are you okay? And the person in the water goes, yeah, I'm okay. How could a person be in the water and be okay? They could have their feet trapped. Never, ever, ever put your feet down if you come out of the boat. If you come out of the boat, point your feet downstream, keep them up on the surface. If your feet go down, this little part of your foot known as the toes is going to get hooked on a rock. If the rivers are not hugely deep, there are many, many places you could stand or at least bob up and down and get a foot trapped. If you get a foot trap, the water's coming down on you and it's going to fold you like a jackknife. If you're lucky, good, and have the right equipment, you might have an air pocket in front of your face, or you might not. So the best thing is not let your feet go down, because there's several tricks we use to get you loose if your feet get entrapped, but we have to be there, and it's a long time before somebody's there.
Yeah.
So the PFD, whistle, a knife. This one's nice because it doesn't have a point. Knives with points are known to put holes in boats or holes in people.
Yeah.
That has a serrated blade. It'll go through rope, things like that. If you get your hand trapped, we've seen one young lady go from Edwards all the way to the ponds in Gypsum because her hand was trapped under the rope on the side of the raft. Well, if you've got a knife and another hand, cut the rope. It just comes in handy. The helmet we've talked about. The throw bag is how you help other people. You can stand on the bank or from a boat, flip the throw bag in front of the subject. Person will float down on the bag, grab onto the bag, it's attached to a rope. You belay it around yourself or around a tree or a rock, and the current just brings the person right into the bank. So this is the minimum. All outfitters are going to give you these. They're going to give you a dry suit as well, or at least a dry top, because this water is incredibly cold. It's in the high 30s maybe, but maybe low 40s. That's cold.
Very cold.
Just,
Yeah.
please don't stick your hand in the stream when it's flowing, but when you find a nice calm spot, put your hand in, and you'll find out how cold it is.
Well, thank you so much for the tips. Please stay safe, everybody out there. The swift water is nothing to be messed with. Like Dan said, the most important thing, if you're not a true expert, just go with a guide to keep yourself safe. And we're going to take a little break. When we come back, we're going to take another look at your local weather forecast.